coverage, and we're pretty upset. I'm Jim Seimas, and this is
Andrew Matheson.
There you go. We have some you're dopey. Oh God.
Oh, this is double coverage.
We're pretty happy. We're not mad. We're happy because this is our Saturday edition.
I know, the weekend's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bring it on.
It feels like it since it's Monday right now.
It's Monday night.
All right.
We're talking about the weekend.
All right.
That's how we roll.
Yeah, we're thinking 5 days ahead of time.
St. Francis SLV.
You know what? Before we get into this game and how it's going to turn out, can I get into a little history?
Tell us a story, Jim.
I'm going to story tell right now. Do you have any music? Do you have a trumpet? Okay, yeah, that's going to overshadow my story. That was.
I can drop it down a little.
That's good. No, that's two. That's like taps. No.
That was like taps.
All right. So the thing is,
Now I'm really crying.
SLV hosted St. Francis years ago when I was a young lad, and St. Francis was winless on the season. They had been outscored 1 trillion to 100.
Wow.
Pretty much.
That was a pretty terrible season.
Yeah. In reality, it was a 5-1 scoring ratio. They outscored 450 points to 100 on the season.
Would taps be appropriate right
It
now?
would actually would. But this, seriously, I'm gonna get a little tearjerker story here because everyone knows this in the Valley. St. Francis being shut out. In the last drive of the game, they've been shut out like 6 times this season. They moved like 90 yards. And time's winding down, and Curtis Gomez, the quarterback, hooks up with Chadwick for a 15-yard touchdown. And the St. Francis fans go crazy like they never will. It was awesome. Yeah, it was great. Penalty flag!
Oh!
And the times that, yeah. Otherwise, they're going to be shut out for like the umpteenth time of the season. Doug Morris of the Cougars, the coach, said we declined the penalty. St. Francis fans started cheering SLV. It was pretty crazy. I actually had a tear in my eye that day. It was very good sportsmanship, and it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen, actually.
You cried, really?
It was pretty cool. You have to understand that all the pain and suffering in St. Francis. I got a little choked up, like Rudy, like Hoosiers, you know?
You cried during those movies, too?
Let's move ahead.
Now, if you're done with that emotional tearjerker of a story,
Yes.
recently told by Jim Seimas, why don't we talk about some football?
I'm ready.
Yeah?
That was a good one. You know what?
Yeah.
Oh, you're heartless.
So St. Francis is at SLV.
Yes.
If you didn't realize, we were still talking about a game.
I can retell the story if you'd like.
Yeah, he's available all week. He does birthdays.
Yes.
If you want to tell that story
It's one of my
again.
favorite Cougar stories.
Um,
Cougars win handily.
yeah?
Yeah.
Are they allowing any
Big, bold
touchdowns?
predictions. Well, they're coming off a shutoff against Santa Cruz, right? So maybe number 2 in a row. They've allowed 3 points in 2 games.
Yeah, I would think St. Francis gets on the board by like SLV in this game.
But you know, St. Francis passes. That's what they do with this sprint attack.
Yeah.
And we know SLV is one of the best defensive secondary teams around.
Yeah. And again, this is Monday night. We haven't talked to any of the coaches. We haven't really... This is all gut reaction
We're in
stuff.
the dark.
We are in the dark. We don't know anything about any of these teams
Seriously, why
except
do you
for...
have to bring up my gut?
It's a little pond.
My gut is right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
No.
Basically, St. Francis could be back with Nick Sandro, their starting quarterback. They could have Matt Clifton, who is a more than worthy backup. He started all last year, of course.
Yes.
But depending on, I don't know if it really matters. SLB is a stronger team at this point.
Yes.
Thunder and Lightning with Derek Petzinger and Jason Bryson going inside, outside.
Jason Bryson.
He's a good player.
He's a darn good player. I
He's a
like
darn good
their
player.
defense more than I like their offense.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Well, yeah, I think their defense is at a higher level right
Yeah.
now, but I mean their offense is definitely more than, it definitely gets them by for the most part.
Always gonna keep
and Isaac Newberry is developing each and every week.
Yes, it is.
This is not a game of the week.
It's not. It's
We like
We
SLV
do.
to comfortably,
moving on.
easily.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Get to it.
Yeah.
Save the game.
Well, this one, I don't know. This is a good game because San Jose's winless, and so Cabrillo has another shot. It's the conference opener.
I think it is a good game.
And you know what? I think Cabrillo actually gets a couple sacks this game.
Yeah.
San Jose City has only rushed for 1 touchdown if their statistics are correct, and they've allowed 17 sacks.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, I think you and I are like, swim move! Yeah, dog! Right?
Yeah, put me out there. I could probably get a
That's
sack.
how I'm thinking. Seriously, could
If
you
that's
like
the case.
the swim move? You know that move?
Yeah, no. I think
Actually,
it's
the swim move is this. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is whip.
Unless you're uppercutting
Yeah.
the water.
Seriously, we might be able to record it. No offense to any Cabrillo defensive linemen or linebackers, mostly D linemen. we might be able to get a sack this game.
Me and
That's
you?
not saying I want to go for Cabrillo's football team.
No.
No. Too
And
much work.
And I really do hope they get a sack. Kind of put the pressure on them, haven't they?
Well, it's just like they should be in good shape defensively. I just want to see some improvement from the offensive side of the ball and no turnovers.
What's San Jose City's record?
0-5.
Yeah, I mean, this is a game that Cabrillo can win. I think after coming off of their loss to Chabot, which is a game that was a winnable game for them.
Yes.
I don't know if they should have won it, but it was definitely a winnable game, and it wasn't necessarily. It was much closer than the 18-point deficit might suggest.
Yeah.
This is going to be a much easier opponent, I guess, going into league, and
it should be.
It should be.
All the numbers work in Cabrillo's favor, but the game's got to be played.
Yeah.
And even in Cabrillo's one win, they had quite a few turnovers.
Yeah.
So it's just what they do. And until when they get that perfect game, they're going to rout someone pretty bad.
Yeah, I really like Cabrillo in this game.
I do too.
And I think, Lucas Romanski was their quarterback last week. He threw for a season-high 281 yards off the top of my head. And looked really good. I know he had a couple of interceptions, but looked really good at times.
He's improving.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly, I'm sure. He wasn't even really in the mix. I know he was, but Brent Mount was there, and Riggs was the MVP of the county. He was the next superstar, and Romanski has quietly got the job done.
Yeah, and Moyer came in.
There's plenty of improvement.
Moyer came in late too and threw a touchdown. So I think they have options at quarterback, which is always a good problem to have.
They're spreading the wealth offensively, at receiver, and they're running the ball pretty well.
They run the ball pretty well. Dylan Jackson didn't have, statistically wise, didn't have a great game, but when he did get the chance, was fairly efficient running the ball.
Yeah.
But that passing game looked pretty solid last week against Chabot, and like I said, Chabot was state ranked. They were winless, but they were state Northern California ranked number 19. I think this is going to be Chabot is a much better opponent than San Jose City was, and I think the game against Chabot was a winnable game for Cabrillo. So I think this is definitely a winnable game against San Jose City. I like the Seahawks in this one.
As do I.
Yeah. You want to expand?
Expanded. I'm yoked on expansion.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go right into it. That's it for the Saturday's edition of Double Coverage.
Yes.
Because there's two of us and we're covering football.
Yes.
We're
It's week 6, if you don't know that by now.
Yeah. We like to repeat stuff.
Check us out online, SantaCruzSentinel.com/football.
And Twitter, the social media. We're all over that.
Yes.
Yep.
Follow the scores live and stay classy, Santa Cruz.
A lot of people don't have Twitter accounts.
You know what?
And I think,
follow our blogs. Email us. Tell us
But wait.
What you're thinking.
But I think a lot of people get scared by Twitter.
Don't be scared.
It's very.
It's hashtag cool.
It's hashtag cool. I like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, you don't have to be on Twitter to enjoy Twitter. I just
Storify.
That was
profound.
It was. But you can go to SantaCruzSentinel.com/sports. And we have a little live feed that collects all of our Twitter. You don't even have to be on Twitter to enjoy Twitter.
Enjoy it.
I'm going to repeat myself one more time.
Check it out. In case you weren't a believer, listen one more time and believe.
You don't have to be on Twitter to enjoy Twitter.
Storify.
Let's just end it.
All right.
What are you going to say?
I said stay classy, Santa Cruz.
He's going to say it twice. We'll see you later this week with some recaps.
Take care.